Hey folks, it's me again, Mr. Rinaldi. I just want to share something with you on the topic of echo, reverb, and creating ambiance and how that can really bring some life to your mix. So for a moment, check out this video that we watched the other day in class. It's from a very famous movie written by three comic geniuses and Ernie Hudson. Enjoy.
Whoa! Will you watch your step? I hate this.
According to this old transit map, there should be an entrance anywhere along here somewhere.
Not getting anything yet. Well, at least it's too dark to see the cockroaches.
Forget about cockroaches. It's the subway rats you gotta worry about. Big as beavers.
Yeah, some of them go 4 or 5 kilos. Hey, enough, all right?
Listen, you hear them behind the walls? Scratching, there must be thousands of them.
Just shut up about the rats.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
Hey! Hey! Hello? Okay, I'm out of here.
Poor Winston. Always such bad luck. However, there's some great things about that video we could talk about. First, the great ambiance that's created presumably by an audio engineer who had to sit there and post-production work to do that, to create that sense of really being in a tunnel like that. That ambiance is that term that we use to describe how a room sounds, or how it sounds with stuff in it, with people in it, without people in it, in any particular context. That's why a church may sound different than a baseball stadium, which sounds different than my office, which has terrible ambiance because it's small and has lots of hard reflective surfaces on it. We use ambiance in recording to get a real personality in a mix. So I'm going to play some licks on guitar, and I'm going to change the reverb on them to demonstrate some different sounds. So, powering up my amplifier, and I have three different settings I can choose. A room reverb, a spring reverb, which is like an artificial sound, and a hall reverb. So here's nothing, no reverb whatsoever first. Stops immediately. Now here's if I increase the room reverb. Little bit wet, which is the word that we use to describe the sound that reverb adds to a particular track. Now here's lots of room reverb. It's a very warm sound. Now if I go to hall reverb, it's a very large space to fill. So this is the opposite of that. This is lots of reverb. Now it's not an echo because it's not distinct. It's a very different sound. Try that one more time. I'll dial it back a little bit. And I'll bring it back even more. So hopefully that kind of showed you the differences between different types of reverb. They make all different types of reverb, and they're all manipulatable, if that's a word, and you can change them all to suit your individual needs on a particular recording. Audacity offers a reverb unit, which I will show you now. So check this out. I have my guitar track highlighted that I just recorded. So it sounds bad, but there's no reverb. It's a very small sounding room. I want to give it the impression that it's a very large room. So I'm going to go make sure that I have the correct thing selected. So just the dark gray track, not the light gray track. Go to Effect and go down to G-verb, all the way down here towards the bottom. And click on that. Now there's some settings here you could change. Damping, which will reduce the amount of reverb. Reverb time, how long it lasts for. This is going to be a lot of reverb. I'm going to decrease the room size significantly. Because I don't want to give it a very wet sound. I just want it to warm up a little bit. But I'm gonna, not mess with these for the most part, so you guys get a good idea of what the stock setting sounds like. And I'm gonna apply it, and you can watch the waveform change over there. Oh, look at that. This is gonna sound terrible. I can tell because the waveforms are so high. So before we go, I'm gonna compress that one more time. There we go. Maybe that'll fix it a little bit. Let's check it out. That's not bad. Let's compare that to what it was before it had any reverb. So I'm going to hit mute and minimize this track. I'm going to listen to the initial source. So that sounds way different. It sounds very dry. Not very inviting sound. So I'm going to make a little sample real quick to talk about echo. Now echo is very different. So I'm just going to mess this file up because I don't particularly need it. I'm not attached to it. So I'm using my arrow keys and the shift button to select just a little bit of sound. I'm going to cut that out. Create a new track. Actually, no, I'll put it right here. And we're going to add a bunch of echo to that. Now, echo is different than reverb. I know I keep saying that, but why is it different? Reverb is the sound of a room. Echo is the sound created by the surfaces in that room, or whatever the given place may be. Now, I have two choices when I create an echo. The delay time. That's the amount of time that happens between an initial sound occurring and then its smaller waveform echo, its repeat. And then this is a percentage. You could think about this as if it were to say this. If it lets me put a percent sign in. Well, think about it as it's 50%. And I'm going to make this real small. You can see that it'll get the next echo is going to be much smaller, and I'm going to have it be half a second. And you can preview it, but I'm just going to apply it. So check that out, right? You hear that at the end? I could definitely drag this out and make it longer. I can put a bunch of these next to each other if I wanted to also, and create a series of echoes. And apply it to all of them. So maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll get an interesting sound. Keep the same settings. Let's see what happens. Weird. Well, definitely not pleasing to listen to, but I think now you guys have a good idea of how that works and what that can do to your mix. So reverb can really bring it to life. Reverb and an echo can really create a sense of space in your tracks, and that's the kind of thing that really helps a listener connect on a personal level with a piece of music. Production, production, production. Hopefully I'll generate some newer, better examples for you guys, but I hope for now this kind of answers some of your questions that you've been having, and that it's in all just very helpful to you guys. Let me know how I can better address your needs by sending me a K-mail. And you guys have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.